Commander Jack Rivers ni apni naya duty Shirukithi. Whoa! Earthka, experienced officer Tha, Likanaj Uska, Missionusk. Lykuch, Naya Tha. U.S. Valerian, Prime Bejagaya, Tha, Ek, Alien Planet Jahan, Ekboet, High Piranha, or Takatwar, Alien Empire. Basta, Valerian Kalog, Geis Valari Kaha Jatata, Bahut, High Proud, or Disciplined. The Woe, Humans Ko, Abi Tek, Aka Kamzur, or Ampad Race Samashte. The Jinkabi B, Ek Barabar, Nahi Managaya. Jack K. Laye, Eek, Challenge, Tha, Eek, A, Isa, Challenge, Jizimus, Apni, Harskill, Dikani, Thi, Jab Wo, Royal Court Main Pahucha, to use Mesus Huaki Har Nazar Usk Uperthi, Kuchlog to Hansi Chupa Nahi, Pa, Rahi, the Usk Capt, Uska, Andas. Sab, Unk Laya Jibtha. Likan Asmine, say Ika Princess Arilla, Sabzalegthi. Woask, Samansita, Akarbak Karn, Walithi. Naki Chupki, say Aska Mazak, Banain Wali. Arilla Ko, Jack Key Simplicity, or Honesty, Akilagi. Woe, Janana Chadi Thi Ki, yeah. Insan Khan, Hai Jo, Apni, Desh, K, Lai, Itna Kuch, Karshakta, HAI.EC. Din, Royal Dinner K. Whacked. Jabsab Vepra, or Rajniti Main, Oljuhu, the Ek, Chupahu, Hamlahu. Kisi, Ni Princess, Irila, Ko Zahar, Dinki, Koshishki, Sablog Gabrage. Leakin Jack Ni. Tarant Apni Instincts Saya Situation Koasamhala, Kusanapnitas, Soakse, Na Surf Sahar, Koroka, Balki Hamelwhale, Koapa, Baki, Rock.us, Dinke, Bod, Arilla Nijak, Koapni Rakshakarn, Kazimadia, Queen Zarantha, Joki Bahut, Sacked or Gary So, Wali Thi, Jack Ko, Surf Ek, Hathiar Samashti Thi, Leakin, Arilla Ko, Uski Zeroeth, Thi, Queen Nikaha, Tumdono Ko, Exoth Rena, Hoga Jabtum, Mary Taraf, Say Earth, Yogi Dektahun Ki Tum Kitna Chalako, Jabarilla, or Jack Valerian, Ka Spaceship Par Bathe, Todonoki, Sok Aligthi, Jackni Arilla, Ko, Human, Sanskriti, Kebari, Main Bataya, Kai's Humans, Apni, Dushmano, Saylat, Hain, or Kai's, Apni Musibat. Main, Haste, Hain. Arillani use Apni, Logan Ki Mariata, or Reader Rewatch, Samjay. Dono Ki Beach, Dear Dear Ek, Risht Ki, Shurawat. Hui, Wo, Surf Ek, Rajkumari, or Ek, Faj, K, Afsar, Nahi, Bauki, Dualig, Sanskritishan, K, Beechek Bridge, Ban Rehi, the Leakin, Valerian, K, Rajniti, K, Raz, Ger, the Raz, Ger, the Kutch Log Raja, Kok Tamke, Konki, Sojish Karehi, the Jack or Arilla Nikuch, encrypted messages paked, Jizma, the Soft Thaw Kikuch, Asamarth Noble's Niek Body, Sajish Rushi High, Arilla Kalai Yasab, Kuch Boet Kathantha, Skiwafadari, Apni Family Key, Lithi, Parsashe, Uzyabi, Kirahi Thiki, Apni Logon Co. Bashana Zaruri, HAI.Jacknias Kaha, Sashi Sekabi, Matt Dart, Hum Usk Soth Kod Hain, Fear Ekdin, Jab Spaceship Par, Hamlahu, Jackni Apni, Dim Mag, or Experience Say, Sabko Bachaya, Gaia, Ki Humans, Kiosli Takat, Unki Sohat, or Himat Main, Hi. Leakin Queen Nijab Suna, Ki Arilla Nijak, Kasathrena, Monocardia, Tu Wo, Naras Hoge, Usin Kaha, Mirbait, Kokun Lagda, Haiki Ekinsin, Mary Betty, Kasath, Chal Shaktahai, Arilla Ni Surf Kaha, Jahan Main Jangi, Mira Partner, Mir Soth Hoga, or Tabby Spaceship Ni Hyperspace Jump Kia. Dono Apni Nai, Menzalone, Keet Taraf, Bad Rehi. The Volari Imperial cruiser Solinar glided silently through the dark space. Commander Jack Rivers sat beside Princess Arilla in the ship's observation deck. Outside the wide glass window, stars streaked past as the ship moved at faster than light speed. They were on a long journey back to Valerian Prime, their home planet. But the peace between Earth and Volari was still fragile. Jack looked at Arilla. Her bright blue eyes reflected the distant stars. She was young but wise beyond her years. Over the last weeks, Jack had grown to respect her more than he had expected, and Arilla had learned to trust him, not only as her protector, but as a true friend. "You don't have to pretend with me, Jack," said softly. "I know humans seem strange to your people." Arilla smiled faintly. "Maybe. But you are different. You are honest. That matters." Jack nodded. "That's all any of us can be." Suddenly, the ship's alert system beeped. The calm was broken. The captain's voice came over the speaker, tense and serious. "Commander Rivers. Princess Arilla, encrypted transmissions detected from the outer sector. Possible hostile activity." Jack and Arilla exchanged a quick glance. Over the last few days, Jack had been suspicious. There were signs of unrest within the Volari Empire, but no one dared speak openly. Jack tapped the console, pulling up the encrypted messages. They were hard to decode, but the pattern was clear. Someone was planning a rebellion. A group of Volari nobles had allied with space pirates to seize control of key military bases. Arilla's face hardened. "This is treason, against my family, against my people." Jack replied calmly. "We need to tell your mother, the Queen. She has to know." Arilla hesitated. "The Queen is proud and strong, but she can be stubborn. Some nobles are close to her. She may not believe us." Jack's eyes met hers. Truth is truth, no matter who hears it. Before they could send the warning, alarms blared. The ship shook violently. "Attack! Pirates inbound!" the captain shouted. Jack grabbed Arilla's arm. "Stay close. We have to defend the ship." The Solinar security team scrambled to stations, but the pirates had the advantage. They knew the ship's weak spots. The captain looked panicked. "Shields failing on Sector 3. Evasive maneuvers are not working." Jack stepped forward. "Captain, let me take command for defense. Trust me." The captain hesitated but nodded. Jack quickly organized the crew. He instructed them to use the ship's smaller drones as decoys. He ordered a surprise counterattack with EMP pulses to disable the attackers' ships. The plan was risky, but it worked. The pirate ships slowed, confused and vulnerable. Jack led the drone attack personally, guiding the small fighters with precision. The ship stabilized and the pirates retreated. Breathing hard, Arilla looked at Jack with admiration. "Your tactics. They saved us." Jack shrugged. "In war, you learn fast. Humans survive by thinking differently." The captain returned to the bridge, respect clear in his voice. "Commander Rivers, you handled that well. The ship owes you." Jack's mind was elsewhere. Rebellion was real and dangerous. If the Queen didn't act, the Empire could fall apart. Later, the ship's quiet hallways, Arilla found Jack reviewing the transmissions. "Do you really think this rebellion will succeed?" she asked. Jack looked up. "They have pirate fleets and traders inside the palace." "Yes. But if we act fast, maybe we can stop them." Arilla's face was determined. "Then we must warn my mother as soon as we return." Jack nodded. "I will stand by you. We will face this together." Days passed and their bond grew. Arilla learned to laugh at Jack's jokes, and Jack admired her courage. She was no longer just a princess. She was a leader. One night, Arilla showed Jack an ancient Volari sword. It's passed down through generations. "This sword belonged to my great-grandfather," she said softly. "It symbolizes honor and protection." Jack held the sword carefully. It's beautiful. I hope one day I can earn the right to stand beside you with this kind of honor. Arilla smiled. You already do. But all was not well. The queen summoned Arilla to the palace. Jack was ordered to stay on the ship. Why must I stay behind? Jack asked. It is protocol, the captain replied. The queen does not fully trust humans. Arilla's eyes flashed with anger. Then I will not go without him, Captain. Was silent. The queen's orders were clear. Arilla made her decision. I am the Princess of Valerian. Where I go, my partner goes. Jack felt a surge of pride and gratitude. Together, they prepared for the difficult journey home. As the Solanor entered Valerian's orbit, the city lights glittered below like jewels. The palace stood tall, ancient, and proud, but the shadows of rebellion loomed closer. The palace of Valerian Prime was grand and ancient. High towers rose into the sky, and halls gleamed with bright light and polished stone. But beneath the beauty, tension hung thick in the air. The rebellion that Jack and Arilla had discovered was closer than anyone wanted to admit. Princess Arilla and Commander Jack Rivers stepped through the palace doors, their faces set with determination. They had come to warn Queen Xyrantha about the traitors among the nobles. The great throne room was filled with courtiers and advisors, all dressed in their finest robes. At the far end, the queen sat on her high throne. Her eyes were sharp, and her presence commanded respect. Yet there was a coldness in her gaze as she looked at Jack. You brought me here on what grounds, princess? The queen asked, her voice firm. Arilla stepped forward. Mother, there are traitors in the court. Some nobles have joined with pirates to overthrow your rule. We have the proof. Jack held up a datapad showing intercepted messages. These transmissions show plans to seize the city and kill the royal family. The queen's eyes narrowed. This is nonsense, created by a human mind to sow fear. Jack's jaw tightened. It is the truth. You must act. For a moment, silence fell. Then a sharp voice interrupted from the council. These accusations are treason. The princess is blinded by her affection for this outsider. Others murmured their agreement. The queen's pride would not let her easily accept that one of her own nobles could betray her. Arilla's heart ached, but she did not waver. If you refuse to listen, we will suffer the consequences. Suddenly, the palace alarm blared, red lights flashed, an explosion shook the throne room. Dust filled the air. People screamed and ducked. The ceiling above the queen's throne began to crack. Jack grabbed Arilla's hand. Get down. The ceiling collapsed, narrowly missing them. Smoke filled the room. Somewhere in the chaos, guards shouted warnings of an attack. The queen's face paled. Attempt on my life. Jack scanned the crowd looking for the attackers. Among the panicked nobles, a group of armed men moved quickly, their eyes cold and merciless. Traitors, Jack yelled, drawing his weapon. Protect the queen. Arilla stood beside Jack, her voice steady. We must fight together. Palace guards rallied, but the traitors were well armed and trained. Jack and Arilla fought side by side, moving through the smoke and chaos. At one point, Jack saw a shadow moving toward the queen. He lunged, tackling the attacker just before the man could strike. They struggled fiercely, Jack's strength and training against the attacker's desperation. Finally, Jack overpowered him, disarming and restraining the would-be assassin. The queen looked at Jack, eyes wide with shock and something else. Respect? You saved my life, she said quietly. Jack nodded, catching his breath. I fight. For your safety. For yours and hers, he said, gesturing to Arilla. The battle in the throne room was fierce, but short. The traitors were pushed back, some captured, others fleeing into the city. But the damage was done. The queen was injured, a deep gash on her arm and bruises from falling debris. Her usual calm was shaken. Arilla helped her mother to a chair. You need rest. We must secure the palace. The queen's gaze hardened. This rebellion is bigger than I feared, but I will not let it destroy us. Jack looked at Arilla. We have to act fast. The nobles who planned this will not stop. Arila nodded. I will speak to my brother. He is loyal and strong. We need him to rally the loyalists, Jack agreed. And I will lead a team to retake the city communications tower. If the rebels control it, they can cut off help and spread lies. That night, Arila met with her brother, Prince Varin, in a secret chamber beneath the palace. Varin was tall and strong, with a serious face. You come with news of rebellion? Arila explained everything, her voice steady but urgent. Varin's eyes darkened. I will stand with you. The traitors must be stopped. Together, they planned their moves. Arila would lead the loyalists in the city, while Jack and a small team would fight to retake the tower. The next morning, Jack prepared his team. This will be dangerous. Enemy is well armed. We rely on surprise and speed. The team boarded sleek fighter vehicles and sped through the city's streets. The rebels had fortified their positions but were not expecting a counterattack. So soon, Jack's tactics surprised the enemy. Using speed and clever use of terrain, his team broke through rebel lines and reached the communications tower. Inside, a group of rebels tried to defend the control room, but Jack and his team fought fiercely. With careful teamwork, they disabled the rebels and secured the tower. From the tower, they sent a message to the palace. Communications restored. Loyalists hold key position. Meanwhile, Arila worked in the city, inspiring citizens and leading loyalist troops to push back the rebels. Back at the palace, the queen's health worsened. She was moved to a secure chamber, guarded by trusted soldiers. Jack visited her there. The queen looked at him with new eyes, no longer just a human outsider, but a brave warrior who saved her life in the kingdom. I owe you my thanks, Commander, she said quietly. Jack bowed his head. I fight for peace and honor. Valerian and Earth, Arila stood beside them, proud. Together, we will rebuild. But the rebellion was not over. Reports came in that the rebel general had escaped with a fleet of ships. Jack's jaw clenched. If he reaches Earth, he could destroy it to frame humans. Arila's eyes shone with resolve, and we must stop him together. The queen nodded weakly. My daughter will lead. Where she goes, her partner goes. Jack looked at Arila and smiled. We face this as one. The fate of two worlds hung in the balance. The Valari capital was scarred by battle. Buildings once shining with pride were now broken and smoking. The rebellion had torn the city apart, but hope still lived in the hearts of those who believed in peace and unity. Princess Arila stood on the balcony of the palace, looking out over the war-torn city. Beside her stood Commander Jack Rivers, her human partner and trusted friend. Together, they had survived attacks, uncovered lies, and now faced the biggest challenge yet, uniting a fractured empire. People are scared, Arila said softly. They don't know who to trust. Jack nodded. That's why we must show them a future worth fighting for. Inside the war room, generals and advisors gathered around a large holographic table. Arila and Jack took their places among them. Their plan was bold. They would combine Valari's strength and Earth technology to defeat the rebels once and for all, Jack explained. The rebels have large fleets, but they rely on old tactics. We will use drones, EMP pulses, and surprise attacks. The Valari commanders exchanged uncertain looks. They had never seen humans fight like this. But Jack's calm confidence won their trust. Arila stood tall. This war is not just for Valerian. It is for all our people, including Earth. We must fight as one. Outside the palace, loyalist troops prepared for battle. Arila visited them, speaking with courage and honesty. I know you have suffered, she said. But together, we can end this war and build a better future. The soldiers cheered, their spirits lifting. As the battle began, Jack led a squadron of drone fighters through the skies. Using EMP pulses, they disabled the rebel ship's systems, causing chaos. Arila piloted her own fighter craft, darting through enemy lines with skill and bravery. Her royal training combined with Jack's human tactics made them a deadly team. The rebels were pushed back, losing key positions. But the rebel general was clever. He fled with a fleet toward Earth, threatening to bring the war to the human homeworld. The news shocked the council. Jack volunteered to pursue the fleet. Arla did not hesitate. "I go with you. We face this together." The queen, recovering but still weak, looked at her daughter. "You must protect our people and Earth, and he is your partner in this. Fight." With the queen's blessing, Arilla and Jack boarded their ship and jumped to hyperspace. During the journey, Arilla reached for Jack's hand. "I trust you," she said simply. Jack squeezed her hand. "And I will not fail you." As they approached Earth's orbit, the rebel fleet was waiting. The massive ships blocked the way, weapons ready to fire. Jack took command of the Earth. Defense forces used clever tactics, hiding ships behind asteroids, using false signals, and hacking enemy systems. Arilla faced the rebel general in her fighter craft. They raced through space, their ships exchanging fire. Was damaged, Jack flew in a daring rescue, pulling her to safety. The final battle came on the rebel flagship. Jack confronted the rebel general without weapons, using strategy and courage to stall him. Arilla arrived just in time to strike the final blow. The rebel fleet was defeated back on Earth. Leaders from Valerian and Earth met in a grand hall. War was over, but the work of peace had just begun. A question arose: who was the human standing beside Princess Arilla? The queen's voice filled the room. "He is not just an outsider. He is my daughter's partner." Arilla smiled proudly. Holding Jack's hand, "My human partner." The vast battlefield above Earth's atmosphere crackled with energy. The rebel fleet loomed like a dark storm, ready to strike at the heart of humanity's home. The fate of two worlds rested on the courage of a few. Commander Jack Rivers stood on the command deck of the Earth's defense station, eyes fixed on the enemy fleet. Beside him, Princess Arilla prepared her fighter craft, determination burning in her gaze. "This is it," Jack said quietly. "We stop them here or lose everything." Arilla nodded. "Fight as one. For Valerian and Earth." The first wave of rebel ships surged forward, weapons blazing. Jack's defense forces moved quickly, using every trick they had learned from their alliance with Valari technology. "Deploy asteroid mines," Jack ordered. "Use the debris field as cover." Ships darted between massive space rocks, firing at the enemy with precision. Jack had also activated electronic warfare drones. They scrambled the rebel sensors, making it hard for them to aim. The battle was fierce. Explosions lit the dark space like fireworks. Rebel ships fell, one by one. But their numbers were still strong. Arilla flew her fighter with skill and bravery, weaving through enemy fire. Suddenly, a blast hit her ship. Alarms blared. Her controls faltered. "Jack, I'm hit," she radioed urgently. Without hesitation, Jack ordered a rescue squadron to her location. But he knew that alone wouldn't be enough. He jumped into his own fighter and sped toward her. "Hold on, Arilla," he said over the comms. "I'm coming." Dodging enemy fire, Jack reached her just as her ship started to spin out of control. With expert piloting, he matched her speed and guided her craft back to safety. They docked at a nearby carrier, hearts pounding. "Thanks," Arilla said, breathing hard. "I owe you my life." Jack smiled. We watch each other's backs. Back on the battlefield, the rebel general's flagship tried to escape. Jack knew this had to end. "I'm going after the flagship," Jack told Arilla. "This ends now." Arilla gripped his arm. "We do this together." Their small squadron raced after the rebel leader's ship. Inside, the general was ruthless. Ready to destroy both Earth and Valerian to prove his hate, Jack's fighters launched an assault, dodging laser fire and missile strikes. Suddenly, the rebel flagship's defenses locked onto Jack's ship. Breaking through, Jack muttered. He steered his craft into the enemy ship's docking bay, forcing an emergency landing. Inside the rebel flagship, Jack faced the general alone. The two men circled each other in the cold steel corridors. "You cannot win," the general sneered. "Your kind is weak," Jack replied calmly. Strength is not in power alone. It is in heart, courage, and unity. The general lunged, and the fight began, fists and quick moves in a deadly dance. Meanwhile, Rilla and her fighters battled. Rebels who tried to stop reinforcements from arriving, Jack fought hard, buying time. He used the ship's environment, narrow hallways, traps, and quick thinking to outmaneuver the general. Just as the general raised his weapon for a final strike, Rilla burst into the room. With a fierce cry, she disarmed the general and held him at sword point. The rebellion was over. The rebel fleet surrendered. Back on Earth, the leaders of Valerian and Earth gathered for a historic summit. The room buzzed with hope and respect. A reporter asked Queen Zarentha, "Who is the human standing beside Princess Arela?" The queen smiled softly. "He is not just an outsider. He is my daughter's partner." Arela looked at Jack and said, "Proudly, my human partner." The room erupted in applause. Jack and Arela knew their journey was only beginning. Together, they would build a new future, one where two worlds could live in peace and friendship.